it's time to look at the headlines across Nigerian newspapers this morning. And I have my regulars in the house. Gentleman of the press, Dario Dufowoko is here, as well as Ife Onyebule. Gentlemen of the press, good morning.
Good morning.
Honorable Ife is here.
Good morning. Good to see you.
All right.
The Honorable is here.
Yeah, the Honorable is here. So we have to do things honorably. So that's very good. Let's begin with Business Day. Business Day says 5 food items driving inflation in Nigeria and why. 5 food items driving inflation in Nigeria and why. You certainly have to look at what these food items are and get to know why they are the ones driving inflation rate. This day newspaper says NNPC records 63% FAAC Remittance Shortfall in 5 months. Corporation pays 22.5 billion naira into joint account. Corporation pays 222.5 billion naira into joint account, and deficit may hit 820 billion naira by year end. All right, these are all issues back and forth of concern to the government one way or the other this day. The Nation newspaper. The Nation newspaper says COVID-19 infection rose by 77% in 1 week. COVID-19 infection rose by 77% in 1 week. Recovered rate drops by 87%. And NCDC warns on deadly Delta variant. This is of great concern right now to government and Nigerians. We'll be talking about this as we get along on the show. Daily Times is next. Daily Times says, how I evaded bandits after my jet was shut down. Air Force officer is saying this, Flight Lieutenant Dairo. It says, bandits are ruthless as Boko Haram insurgents. Right? It says, bandits are ruthless as Boko Haram insurgents. This is Daily Times. From there, let's go to Blueprint newspaper, and it's focusing on Benue. Blueprint says, 3-month-old baby, 12 others killed, 2 women abducted, 6 kidnapped in Abuja, 80-year-old Bayelsa SSG's mother kidnapped, 100 victims regained freedom in Zamfara, medic freed in Kogi. Blueprint. Really, really headlines with concerns. Daily Trust is next. It's focusing on insecurity. It says Zamfara, Kebbi, Niger lead as gunmen kill 1,031 Nigerians in 1 month. Zamfara, Kebbi, Niger lead as gunmen kill 1,031 Nigerians in 1 month. 390 kidnapped. Northwest, North Central top fatality. Nigeria overwhelmed, needs help. Retired colonel is saying this, and how to reverse trend. Security experts are, giving their insight into all of those. And on the front page of the Daily Trust, you see the breakdown of all of these fatalities by region, and northwest, northeast, north central, southwest, southeastern, and south percentages and numbers of those who are killed. You see the infographic there giving a simplified information regarding this. That's a Daily Trust. If time permits us, we'll certainly look at that as well. Nigerian Tribune is next. Tribune says, my jet shot at with explosives, flight controls destroyed. The pilot is saying this, Flight Lieutenant Dairo, says he had premonition of the attack, walked 30 kilometers with 1 leg injured. All right, it was a great feeling of joy when he got home, and the videos went viral, how he was received and welcomed. That's Nigerian Tribune there. First News is focusing on Igboho. Nigeria, Benin in diplomatic row. Nigeria, Benin in diplomatic row. Beninois government shuns Burate's extradition request. Protests rock Ibadan. These are all on the front page of the First News. Okay, from there let's go to the Daily Sun. Daily Sun moved to extradite pro-Yoruba nation agitator Igboho. Protests rock Ibadan, Cotonou court. Gani Adams flays for the government's attempt to criminalize the case. Okay, that's on the Daily Sun. News Direct is next, and it says Yoruba Nation protests rock Cotonou, Ibadan over Igboho's detention. Groups to present petition at 76th UN Assembly, and that is supposed to be in September in the United States. Okay, from there let's go to the Punch newspaper. The Punch says Benin reject Igboho's hasty extradition. Lawyers write Germany to stop moves. Benin insists on repatriation hearing to determine whether Igboho is guilty or not. That's a lawyer saying this. Legal team to file additional complaint with the German embassy today on Igboho's arrest. Protests rock Ibadan, Cotonou, London over activists' arrest. Police attack oil protesters. All right, all that on the front page of the Punch. The Guardian is the last one we're seeing now. Diplomatic stalemate in Benin Republic over Igboho's detention extradition. Okay, we see on the front page there some of the players, who are involved in all of these. Protests rock Ibadan, Cotonou. Lawyer saying Yoruba indigents fought to stop a standby helicopter from bringing Igboho to Nigeria. All right, all of this 1984 extradition treaty, Igboho ill-advised, should have fled through Niger, says Oyebode, rather. Okay, all that on the front page of the Guardian newspaper. All right, some of the many of the headlines this morning have the Igboho story, and I'd like us to start from there. Before we go into other issues. Dari, let me start with you on this. I know you've been following this development of Igboho being arrested, Sunday Igboho arrested in Benin Republic. But the controversy now is to Nigeria was thinking, the assumption was that it was going to be very seamless, extraditing him back to Nigeria, but it doesn't seem to be so right now.
Yeah, you should understand the fact that Benin is a republic, and it's a
sovereign country.
Sovereign country, and there could be treaties we all signed, security, trade, and what have you. But when it comes to issues that has to do with internal security, because I read that the Benin government also feel Igboho has some cases to answer there in Benin, regarding the documents found on him with which he was going to travel. If they feel they need to know some things, how were you able to procure this? How did you do this? How did you beat our own security network and all that? They're entitled to hold him. And also, there are questions about his access to fair hearing and justice back home in Nigeria. Okay. Don't forget, the issues of human rights have immense importance to some of these countries, our neighbors too. And that is why every country, and even individuals, must avoid being notorious. If you are notorious for something, the day of reckoning will come. I see what is happening as a diplomatic shuttle that will end somehow soon. Those who don't want Sunday Igboho to come home are making good use of excuses and reasons that are being listened to by international and diplomatic players the world over, and they seem to be making sense. If it is established that we will not get fair hearing in Nigeria, then bringing him home will run against human rights dictates. But Nigeria,
I wonder how that will be established, though.
That is why that is why I tell you that
if he comes home.
That is why I tell you that Benin is a sovereign nation with their own rules, and
which must be respected by Nigeria and any other
country. They already have the template with which they want to deal with other countries. So the talks will be much, the argument will be here and there, but at the end of the day, both countries will look at their bilateral relationships. Both countries will consider their security relationship because Benin is next door neighbor. If Nigeria is threatened, Benin is threatened. So a lot of factors will come into play. It is not going to be as easy for either side. For those who think, oh, Igboho is not coming home, we are taking care of it in Benin. It may not be that easy. For those who think in the matter of hours, we have him here. I learned that he will be arraigned over there. He will have his day in court. He will have the opportunity to defend himself with his lawyers. And then he will present his argument.
With the issues that are of concern to the public.
And issues that are of concern to his extradition, which is concerns Nigeria. Why don't you want to go home? He will give reasons. I also learned from readings that Germany is involved somehow because the wife is a German citizen. I don't see much out of that, sincerely. Igboho is not a German citizen.
Yeah.
The wife is fine. We're talking about the wife did not commit any offense. The wife is not being accused of anything. But if Igboho can prove his case, that if I'm taken home, I won't get fair hearing. Well, but I don't see him leaving Benin soon too. Because if what they say and what we read are anything to go by, then he has committed some infractions too.
Now, the point there is, when it comes to documents where there's a feeling or there's a verification that this document you have here was not gotten from the original whatever, if it is turned out to be a falsification of any document at all, it's a criminal offense. And that will have its day in court. But that is not what we're saying here. Now, let's talk about the Nigeria-Benin Republic relationship, because there seems to be some diplomatic engagement in that regard. Now, a lot of people would dismiss it and say, well, of course, Nigeria remains a big brother to Benin any day, so when these things happen, it should be a one-way thing. But like Dari has said, of course, Benin Republic is an independent, sovereign country with its own rules, and Nigeria must, even any other country for that matter, must respect that. Yeah. But what do you make of this when it comes to the relationship between Nigeria and Benin in handling a case like this?
No, you've just said it, that they're a sovereign nation. They have their own constitution. They have laws that govern them as it is. It's about taking things and, following the due process. Yeah. That's exactly what it is, so that we don't overflog issues. Dari has pretty much said most of what it is that anyone would expect when you talk about issues having to do with Igboho, his arrest. There have been rumors. Where is he? Has he been killed? Yeah. Who knows exactly what it is that's happening to him? And people are looking at it. Since Nnamdi Kanu was taken in, people are so apprehensive now. What is it going to be? Now that they have Igboho, what will be the next line of action? But I'm glad that his lawyers are talking. As you gentlemen were saying a while ago, I'm wondering what it is with Germany trying to meddle in the business. He's not a German citizen. His wife is. The wife has not committed any crime. So I think sometimes these people need to just stand back, allow things happen. This is Africa, this is Nigeria, this is Benin Republic. These are two countries. They need to sit together and decide what it is that's going to be. We're talking about documents now as it is. If it's found that some of those documents or the documents that he presented are false or fake or whatever we want to call it, there are rules. Yeah. You do the crime, and you face the music. That you do the time. That's what it's going to be.
Okay. Now the point there is, it is not clear at this time the German angle to the case. But since the wife is German, that is established. Of course, German government would like to see in all of this. We want our citizen to be safe wherever she is. Being a citizen by marriage is not necessarily established in Nigeria. You can be a citizen by birth, or a citizen by registration or by naturalization and all of that, but not necessarily by marriage. If the children who are born from two of them can be Nigerians and can be German, as the case may be. But some Nigerians have, since this happened, some people have mentioned the issue of the proactiveness of the government of Nigeria when it comes to ability to spread the tentacle of intel to arrest Nnamdi Kanu on one hand, and also arrest Sunday Igboho on the other hand. They are saying that that kind of watertight intel should also be spread to bandits and Boko Haram and all of that. But they are not seeing it in that regard, playing out the same way. What do you make of this?
You see, I've been very careful joining that debate, and I'll tell you why.
All right.
We must understand the terrains. What intelligence will you use to go and arrest a Boko Haram operative in Sambisa? Do they need any form of intelligence? What we are saying is that these guys are killing Nigerians. Wipe them out. Approach their own issues with what they are asking for. You call them bandits. They shot down an Air Force jet. Those are still bandits. You still want to handle them as cattle rustlers? No, I don't think so. I think they are waging a war against the Nigerian state. The state should wage a war against them. And I must say this. For those who say Nnamdi Kanu has been arrested, Igboho has been hunted down, the same thing is not being done about bandits, I disagree. Daily we get reports of bandits being killed.
Yes.
They are killing people. Igboho has not killed anybody to the best of my knowledge. Nnamdi Kanu, well, you are trying to pin some debts on him. You prove that in court. I've not seen where he took a gun and shot down anybody. They say he gave directives. That is debatable. Go to court and. But these militants, or what name are we giving them now? Bandits, ISWAP, Boko Haram. They are waging war, killing people, killing soldiers, killing civilians. So if anybody is waiting that they should be arrested, we were waiting for the arrest of Shekau. But at the end of the day, he died on the war front. That is what will happen to characters like that. I don't expect any government to begin to find how they will catch them. That will be time wasting. You know how many years it took to hunt down Saddam Hussein? Osama bin Laden. You see, now they are there waging wars. Go for them. Take this as a war. Approach it as a war. They are no longer Nigerian citizens to the best of my knowledge. The moment you wage war against your nation, you have become more patriotic. The bandits are waging war, kidnapping Nigerians, taking ransoms and killing some of them, using the money from them to fund the Boko Haram war. So we should link this together. Forget about the arrest of Nnamdi Kanu, the hunting down of Igboho. I still see it as mild reaction to issues. Those are mild. You brought them in alive. Come and answer to questions, fine. But if you want to do that with Boko Haram commanders, bandit commanders, you are giving room for them to do more killings.
Yeah,
and I don't believe in that.
But some of the governors,
hunt them down.
Some of the governors, like the report, one of the reports played earlier on, the governor of Zamfara State is talking about the issue of negotiation and
see,
bringing them in.
Mike, I think we should stop this. We are placing too much premium, too much importance on negotiation with people who are daily killing people. Daily killing. Recently, people traveled for this celebration, and because I wanted to know the state of the roads across the country, I kept a tab on people who are traveling. How is the road? They tell the roads are deserted. Festive period. To travel from Lagos to Benin, people who want to go by car were waiting to form convoy. I have friends in Yanokwaja who had to wait for those coming from Ketu, those coming from Lekki, those coming from Ikorodu. They waited. When they had a convoy of about 10, 12 vehicles, they moved. When you could pick your car, I remember I go to Benin as if I was going to Lagos. I'll just go through Igboho and in a few hours I'm in
the good thing there is that road is good now.
That road is good, but it is deserted.
Yeah.
Fear. That is just here. You can now imagine Kogi Abuja Road. You can imagine Kaduna Savara Road. Yeah. People are stuck. Nigerians are being restricted. There is no longer freedom of movement. Bandits are dictating how we live and move. And yet, somebody want to tell me we should negotiate. Now I ask you, what has the previous negotiations brought our way? Nothing. Katsina State governor, former Speaker Masari, so much believed in the past. I can see that he has changed his tone now in the idea of negotiating with these people. But after he brought them out, took pictures with them, gave them money, resettled some of them, and things got worse in his state. He came out to say he has lost faith in any form of repentance on the part of these people. That is what it will be. They are not doing this because they are hungry, Mike. They are not doing it because they are. If they are doing this because they are hungry, then we can pacify them. No, they are doing this because they have to do it to fund the war. They are, these are harms. They are units of the ISWAP.
Yeah, the motive is
clear,
generally
and we should approach it that way.
All right. We look forward to how government will handle all of those as we get along. Now, one other issue on the front page this morning is the COVID-19 infection rising by 77% in 1 week, according to the Nation newspaper here. Now, Ife, let me come to you on this. The point there is, there's the talk about the Delta variant, which is more virulent, which is more deadly than the regular COVID-19 that we knew. But the point there is, as it is right now, we have heard from the reports that some of the isolation centers in some of the states are shut.
I heard that on radio.
When we're saying the case now is deadlier than... Are you seeing any movement or anything, a change to see, okay, what can we do to ensure we mitigate this? Are you seeing any movement like that?
I'm not seeing any change as it is. And I'm surprised that a state like Lagos, you hear things like some of these centers are being shut down. Why would you shut them down? I know it can be very huge to say, let's keep the centers going. You have to pay salaries and all of that. Those centers are shut now. So what exactly will happen? And sometimes I go out, I'm looking and, watching to see the way people behave. The mask is gradually taking a back seat as it is. People have no idea. They don't even understand where it is that we're at this point in time. They just think that COVID has taken a break or has traveled to somewhere else, forgetting that this thing is with us. Some still don't believe that there's something called COVID-19, of course, in Nigeria. And I say to them, I have friends, I have people that I know who died, as a result of contracting the COVID-19 infection. So maybe government needs to wake up again, start afresh. You need to begin to talk to the people again. I don't want to see a situation where we're going to have some kind of a lockdown. But if it gets to that stage, I'm thinking that we need to understand that government knows exactly what it is that it's doing. But people people don't trust the government. Remember what happened last year with the palliatives and what have we. So they still do not trust the government. Government needs to wake up. If you have to begin to open those centers, I think it's important. But how many people are we testing per day? I've had my 2 jabs as it is. But when I see people, I ask them, have you taken even one? People are not going to take the jobs. So what is the awareness that you're creating?
The conspiracy theories are still in the air in the minds of a lot of people.
I don't have horns on my head, Mike. You can see my head. I don't have horns. I still have the normal blood in me. I don't have a what's it called? A key sticking to my body because I took the jab. So this is the kind of information that we need to put out. Even the church clergy, the clergy that saying to people that they shouldn't go to take it. I think it's their responsibility in church to say to people, get out there, get a job. It's not going to kill you.
Even if it means they if you are a church head, for instance, and you don't have information about this, you can call medical doctors, or you can pay a visit to say, enlighten us as heads of church or as heads of, so that we can.
You discover that a lot of them actually have this information.
So why would you have the information? Why would they discourage people from?
They're choosing to go the way they are going. They're choosing to say the things they want to say. You see, the kind of thing people want to do or say to have hold on people can be very funny.
That's the word, having a hold on people.
I've taken the 2 jabs, and when I saw a video that once you put key on your hand, for days I was testing that maybe
and it didn't happen that way. So
then they will say you start feeling.
You tested it.
I had to. You need to see how
a lot of the videos went out. Some people will hold the bulb, the bulb.
They will begin to. They make you feel something will go wrong.
Something will happen to you.
But I blame the government here. And I go back to the issue of those days when we had National Orientation Agency working. National Security Agency today is just one agency
Do
somewhere.
they still exist?
They are there doing
they
nothing.
They do.
I want to remind you of
And
the
they
days
get
of
paid
MAMSA.
salaries?
Yes.
Mike,
Yeah.
when we had MAMSA,
Yeah.
it was as if the messages are daily in our heads.
In your head.
Now you have taken the jab.
All right.
Please come out and talk to people. Nothing is happening to you. That's
All right.
all we need to do.
Okay.
And people will be convinced. But
Oh, okay.
those who are lying are getting more headspace
Of
than
course.
those who are saying the truth.
You know,
That's
the
all.
negative always travel
unfortunate.
faster.
The positive.
All right, we have to leave it here now. Thank you very much, Dario Dufo. Welcome for coming on the program. And the Honorable Ifeanyi Ebule, thank you very much for coming as well.
Thanks for having me.
Okay.